Brian, Janice, thank you so much for being here. 8 o'clock on the dot. Luckily, we're going to be recording this, so we're going to be sharing it through the next couple of weeks as well.
Fantastic.
So, a couple of questions. I just really wanted to start with you guys. Come on,
Oh, sorry, we have a little bit of a delay there. A little bit about us. Well, we've been living over here in the UK for the past, it'll be 6 years in January. We've relocated from Canada, so hence our funny accents. But loving living over here in the UK, and it's been a fantastic experience.
Canada's very cold if you haven't been there. I know there's a lot of people in the UK that think it's cold, but trust me, when I say cold, I mean cold.
Well, I should have done a briefer introduction to you guys, but anyway, Brian and Janice Muldoon, I met them at the Best You EXPO. We met last year, wasn't it?
That's right.
Just over a year ago now. No, just less than a year ago, and obviously, for those of you that don't know, well, who is this guy that's speaking? Well, I'm Bernardo Moya. I'm the Chief Inspiration Officer of the Best You. I'm the founder of the Best You, and I'm kind of the guy behind the scenes that has been putting the Best You EXPO, publishing the Best You magazine, and promoting Richard Banner and Paul McKenna for the last 10 years. So the reason I came up with the Expo, and the reason I came up with the brand of the Best You, was because I thought that there's a need, and there's a lot of great people sharing some fantastic expertise and knowledge and wisdom, and they do that basically in their own platforms. It's a very fragmented market industry, in my opinion, and I thought it would be cool to have a platform that can help and support all these great experts. So we started with a magazine. Yes, it was always my intention to run the Best You Expo, something that would go live, that could help these experts create awareness of what they do. So I met Brian and Janice at the Best You Expo last year, and tell us a little bit what you do. What is it you particularly do, and how would you describe it?
Well, basically, we have created a done-for-you system. We primarily work with other coaches and consultants and professional service providers. So it has sort of evolved. I mean, we've been working as business coaches ourselves, and we came up against the issue that a lot of coaches come up against, is that regular flow of new clients coming in. You know, you get a roster of clients, you're working with them, you're doing a great job, you finally finish up with them, and you haven't had any time to prospect. Yeah. So all of a sudden you're going, oh, I'm done with these 3 people, and now I got to get out there and sort of refill that hopper. So that was where we really shifted our focus to online. So we went out there and learned everything that we had to learn, the technology wise, to be able to put those call to actions together, funnels, copywriting, getting engagement for coaches and consultants.
Well, yeah, it was a long process because, getting back to what Janice said earlier, we saw that one of the fundamental challenges in our business was having that steady flow of clients. And in particular, because we had moved to the UK, we really were sort of starting from the ground up all over again. So we didn't have those established relationships like we did back in North America. And so we quickly realized that we've got to find another way to make this sustainable, and so that we can build this business. And that really made us look online, like Janice said. But there was a lot to it. And so it required a huge commitment. And in doing so, other people said, so where are you getting your clients from? How are you doing this? I'm struggling with this. And then we told them that we had figured out what you need to do to have a successful online business that's going to attract those clients. And they started asking us, well, hey, could you do it for me? Could you show me how to do it? Some people said, could you show us how to do it? Do you have something created that would show me how to do that? Or there are other people who say, I'm not interested. I don't have the time. I just want it done for me. So
actually, to be honest, that was when we came to the Best You EXPO last year. We had come there to promote our online program, which was called, or is called, Accelerator Online Course Creator. Because that was the first step. We realized that there was a lot of people that wanted to get online courses out there. and they just didn't know the steps. They didn't know which software they needed. They didn't, you know, equipment, all that sort of stuff. So that was the primary reason why we had attended the Best You last year. But it turned out that we did sell our program there, but we also made a lot of great connections, which have you know, resulted in us working one-to-one with clients as well.
Not including you.
Yeah.
Including me. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, because you both do, and I've experienced this, I've come across a lot of people that are very, very good at what they do. I'm saying as a coach, as a therapist, as a trainer, but they don't necessarily know how to market themselves. And it's fine, you know, it's very difficult to know everything. I believe that as an entrepreneur, as a business person, especially if you're in this industry of trying to help others, you should really understand a little bit of everything related to kind of what you do, marketing, social media, you know, Google AdWords, Facebook, you know, the latest trends and things like that. But I get it, and I keep coming across that. Now, both of you specialize. I know you work as a team and as a unit, but you also tend to do different things. Janice, you do a bit more copy, and then Brian, you work more around, the sales strategy behind it, Infusionsoft, and creating these campaigns. Tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, that's essentially in a nutshell. Janice does a bulk of the copywriting, but together, when we work with our clients, we kind of extract those ideas, find out what that ideal model is for them. Because, you know, as you had mentioned, you know, people have so many ideas, right? Because, you know, in particular, coaches can help people in many different ways. So if you take, for example, relationships, business, fitness, there's all sorts of different ways that you can help someone. But it's really challenging to find out what is that ideal starting point. What's that best entry point for me to position myself as that expert so that people start to engage and opt in. And so, you know, the thing is we know that, you know, people are not, I mean, they're always gonna, you know, if you have a good irresistible offer, you have that great sort of tripwire, as we call it, that lead magnet to capture that name and email, and then you follow up with some really good content, people are not always going to buy right away. And often I think that this is where people fall into the trap where they start to blame themselves and they say, well, you know, the market's saturated, or, you know, somebody already is doing what I'm doing. They're probably doing a better job. They have a bigger list and all these sort of things. And so really it's in the follow-up, and a lot of people don't realize that. And that is really the opportunity for whomever it is to put in that secret sauce. And that's where the copy comes in, to really understand what it takes to create a compelling message that's authentic, genuine, and really creates that conversation and gets people to get to know you, and that they eventually want to take that next step, because as a result of that follow-up, what you have is rapport, and you have connection, and then you have reciprocity, because, you know, you've been helping that person so much. They really feel that they want to go to the next level with you. They trust you now. And so that's kind of what we do. And we do that through automation. And for us, we use Infusionsoft. And so, you know, some people know it as Confusionsoft. You know it well, Bernardo. So, you know, when you can get these things to work properly, all that tech overwhelm and all of that just sort of goes away. And you have a system that works for you now. You have something that's out there doing that prospecting and getting that low-hanging fruit and putting you in front of those prospects and those clients that are looking for what you have.
I think if I can just add one thing, because you were saying about people, you know, you should know a little bit about everything. I think probably what maybe makes our offering unique is because we have been entrepreneurs for, you know, over 17 years, because we do have that business experience and we were working as business consultants. We're able to bring that strategy to the table, you know, the sales and the marketing and the business strategy, where, you know, it's not just copywriting and it's not just automation. I think that we can really help to work with our clients and really create what their unique offering is to help them find what their perfect market is, you know, as a package.
And what would you say are the common denominators that people, you know, business people, entrepreneurs, or, you know, coaches, people that are actually trying to create more business? What are the common denominators that people make? when it comes down to not implementing certain things?
Definitely overwhelm is one of the big things, because I think as entrepreneurs, we always have a lot of ideas. We call it the trap of idea-itis, right? Where you're like, I could do this and I could do that, and then I could create this over here. And what ends up happening? Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it is. I think if you're,
That's idea-itis.
Idea-itis. It's you get so excited about the possibilities, but the trap that a lot of entrepreneurs fall into is, and this is what we help them with, is to focus on their one big thing, to take those steps to implement what's happening. You can always add more to whatever you're doing. We have clients that have modulated online courses. They do one-to-one coaching programs. They do a lot of things, but the trap, I think, is trying to do too many things at once. You get totally overwhelmed, and then you go into paralysis and nothing gets done. So that's kind of, I think, the big stumbling block.
I would say that's a big one. I'd say the other one is time. And one of the traps that we fell into for the longest time was, and we really encourage people to think about this, is, are you spending your time doing things that make you money, or are you spending your time doing things that make you busy? And, sometimes we can, sometimes just doing can give you the sense that you're getting where you want to go, that you're moving towards that ultimate outcome. But, it's one of those things, if you're just a human doing, and you're just busy doing stuff, you're not really going to achieve that level of success or those outcomes that you want, unless you're doing things that are going to allow you to make money, so that you can keep your message going and build your audience and build your business. So time is a big one.
And as far as some quick tips, Janice, as far as copywriting, there's obviously a science behind it, the subject lines.
Well, I think a lot of the big thing is obviously knowing who you're talking to, really getting clear on who your audience is. Another thing is, we were actually discussing this earlier, there's sort of this new phenomenon about the way people consume information now, because there's so much information coming online. Everybody has like internet ADD. So you really have to be creative about, if you're sending out emails, a subject line that's going to catch people's attention. When you're writing either copy for ads or in email copy, you can't just go old style writing paragraphs. If our English teachers looked at the way we wrote emails now, they'd be horrified, because it's just such bad structure. But that's the way people consume information now. They want to see sentences broken up. They want to see everything really separated, because if they see a great big blob of copy, their attention span, unfortunately, is too short. So we have to be really creative in the messaging, definitely, and also the way that we structure our message so we catch people's attention.
And then as far as email marketing, it's obviously a different era. I remember 6-8 years ago when you used to send emails out, and used to have these ridiculous open rates, as you said, like, oh, I've got an email, and you would just go into it and check it. Remember those days when you got one email, you got really excited, and then you had emails. Stop emailing me, please. And that's the problem. People have just this overload of emails coming into the inbox. Does email marketing work?
Well, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, basically today, we want to be marketing genuinely, authentically, without being salesy. But it's really important, and I know for a lot of people, they're just uncomfortable with asking people to, if I can just be blunt, get their wallet out or make the commitment to click that link and schedule a consultation, whatever the case may be. So email marketing has to be based around behaviors. And that's really, and whoever's on the call here tonight, I don't want to overwhelm anyone, because again, this is what we do, this is what we've learned, and this is what we help people digest in a simpler and easier way than kind of what I'm saying now. But really the nuts and bolts of it are, one person might like chocolate ice cream and someone else might like vanilla. Well, when we're doing email marketing, it's really important that what we do is we give them that opportunity to let us know what they're interested in. And then from there, we start to segment that messaging and send more content that's related to those choices that they're telling us about, right? The other great thing about having those links that you can click on in your emails is a link click is really also a yes, right? It's indicating interest, which is really, really important. So the engagement is there. So that's a big thing with email marketing is we always have a rule that you always want to try and have some sort of not necessarily a call to action, but an opportunity for them to click a link to do something. So that could be to a blog. It could be to register for a webinar like this webinar that we're doing tonight, or something along those lines. And that can just be something very subtle, below your signature that just says, oh, P.S. by the way, ... click here, and you can check it out now, or you can sign up now. So
yeah, because if email marketing is done right, you're not bombarding people. The ones that aren't taking any action, you can move them out of a campaign, and you can keep marketing to the people that are showing interest. Because like what Brian said, just because they haven't bought today or haven't engaged with you today just means maybe they didn't finish reading your email, or maybe they're just not quite ready, but they will.
And that's understanding your database. And obviously kind of when you understand a little bit more, when you get your customers coming into your database, they've opted in for whatever it is that you've offered, having the right tags, setting up the right campaigns so they're getting the right emails. They're not getting emails for products that they've already bought, which is obviously how they unsubscribe, or email them things that they might not have requested. I don't know, someone else's seminar. I'm always very careful of sharing kind of my database to promote any other people's things, because, unless you ask for permission, it's not something that you would do.
Yes.
I believe, again, that if you provide a lot of quality, people expect quality, but I believe if you provide quality, people will open those emails, and they're expecting and they're looking for them. So, I think that's something that people need to learn. But look, as far as I'm concerned, as you said, there's so many ways of communicating with people. Yeah. Email marketing, webinars, it might be a text message, it might be vlogging, doing your video diaries, it might be sending, writing your blog articles, which people will receive. And then one of the ones that obviously I believe in very strongly is about face-to-face. Now, I've been running seminars for a long time, as you know, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, like being able to connect and meet with people face-to-face. And, and that might be in a seminar room, it might be in a gathering, it might be in a big event like the Best You EXPO. So what are your thoughts regarding that, regarding the opportunities to meet people face-to-face versus online?
Oh, for me, it's absolutely massive.
You can't beat it.
Yeah, we're huge on relationships. I mean, we do much of our business online because we work with people in all different places. But if we have any opportunity to meet with our clients face to face, I think it's absolutely priceless. And I think that it's in the setting, like the Best You, I think that it's a real opportunity that you're meeting with. I was actually surprised because when we went last year, I was really thinking about just connecting with the attendees that were maybe there to look for what we had. But I mean, we ended up making a lot of really great connections with other exhibitors who you've sort of could work together or do something to help each other out in that. So I just think being in the same room with someone and being able to shake their hand is
and
massive.
The virtual experience of doing business or doing webinars or whatever it is, it's great, because it is a convenient way for people to connect. But there is nothing that beats that real experience of shaking someone's hand, having a real conversation. So no, and again, it was like at the Best You, that there's that energy that you can't capture. And
I think, I mean, listen, NLP trained or not NLP trained, but the bottom line is when you're going up to someone's coming up to your stand and, you're talking to them, you give them your 100%, you engage with them, you build rapport, you're making fun. Hey, how you doing? You look good. I mean, so it's just that ooze, that sense. And there's nothing like it. I mean, you guys spoke and exhibited at the event, and I understand that a lot of people are really pro speaking. I mean, first event we had 55 speakers. Second event we had around 120, and this year we've got around 140. And everyone wants to speak. And I understand that. You know, you love the opportunity to be able to have 100 people in the room. We record those talks and then, you know, we put them out there. I get that. But I struggle because it's completely different in the US. In the US, people they understand the importance of having a stand, of being able to connect with thousands of people that are walking around the room, where you can offer them a free book, or you can offer them whatever it is to entice them to come along. So what are your experiences when it comes down to speaking and having a stand?
Well, go ahead. Sorry, I keep jumping in there first.
No, what else is there? Yeah, no, look, having a stand and having an opportunity to speak, in many ways, it's priceless. And I say that because if you think about trying to get someone to sign up to a webinar, to invest, say, in advertising of some sort, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or direct mail response advertising to get someone to opt in, whether it be for a free report or whatever it is that you happen to be offering to try and make that connection. Well, when you're in an environment where literally thousands and thousands of people are around you all that time, to make great connections, I mean, it's impossible not to. That was one of the things that we loved about it. Was not only was it really great for us in terms of the revenues that we generated from people who wanted what we had, but it was also an opportunity for us to be able to demonstrate what we could do for people. And an example of that quickly is, I recall a couple of people that, you know, after we talked about some of the things that you need to create an irresistible offer, you know, I remember one gentleman came up to me, he opened up his laptop right there, and he says, "Look what I have." And so we had to look at it. He says, "What can you tell me about that?" And I told him, I said, "It's great." I said, "But the thing is you're kind of talking a little bit about yourself." And this is, again, kind of sometimes can be a common problem, is we're so eager to want to help. We're saying, if I could just get people to listen to me, they would want what I have. And that was an opportunity where I was able to connect with this fella, and we just changed a few words around. And so now suddenly it was about the person who would be interested in what he had, and he pulled himself out of it. You know, for him, in his words, he said, "You know what, coming down here just for that made it worth my while. I'm going to sign up for the course. This is great." And, you know, we went on and did quite a bit of business with this chap. And so that's the thing is, you know, online, it definitely, you know, requires a lot more time to get yourself in front of that many people. You know, building email lists, you know, again, I don't want to put anyone off. You know, you've got to do it. You should be doing it, because email lists.
Well, you have to. You have to.
Right? You have to do it.
But coming to a live event and speaking is doing yourself a favor, and it's a smart investment.
Well,
it really is.
And having the stand, I was going to say, we were actually able to build our list a lot because we put on an offer there, and we were collecting names and emails of the participants.
That's something I wanted to ask you quickly. Just give me a couple of pointers, me and anyone that is thinking of getting involved. So, because we've had a lot of people that say, you know what, I want to get involved and I'm not ready. I haven't got my book ready, haven't got my page ready, haven't got all sorts of excuses. You know what, you're only ready when you're ready and when you take action and things happen. And what I have experienced is we've had people that have booked onto the expo, and you know what, because they knew they were going to be there, they had to make it happen. Either get their book. You can very simply, as you said, build your list. Give us 4 or 5 things that you could do, you know, and advise any stranger or someone based on your experience. What could you do to engage people so you can collect their names and email addresses? What would you give out? What would you suggest people do?
Yeah, well, I just want to say for one thing leading on from that, that's exactly what happened with us, because we had this course created, but there was finishing touches that we had to make on it. So whenever Brian had said to me, I saw this ad on Facebook about the Best You Expo, and I think we should go there, it totally made us go, okay, well, we got to pull our finger out here and get these last few modules all tidied up. But yeah, as far as at the event, I mean, you know, what we did was we actually gave away one of our modulated courses. So it was the perfect environment. There was tons of people that were looking at doing that. But, you know, I know there was people doing book giveaways, you know, tickets to other seminars, all that sort of stuff. If you do any sort of you know, a prize thing, or even if it's someone that's interested in what you have, signing up for newsletters, anything like that. We just took our iPad along and they could just sign up right there. And yeah, we had hundreds of people by the end of the weekend.
There was people doing, I think Sarah Davison was doing like free consultancy, wasn't she? She was doing like 5-10 minute free
little mini, yeah.
Some people had a couple of stands and they were doing talks permanently throughout the 2 days. So they were just literally doing 10-15 minute talks, and they had 6 or 8 people, you know, in their relatively small space. Some of them had more space and they had 20, 30, 40 people. So they were doing their own talks permanently throughout the whole 2 days.
There was somebody across from us doing that, and they were packed every time.
Yeah.
Like they had maybe a dozen seats, but they were busy all weekend.
It works very well. I mean, one of the things that I will say is that having run events, and I remember the first time I did the Expo, which I didn't sleep for 4 months because it was a bit of a challenge. I remember the first time when we did the event, what really surprised me, because I've done small events, I've done really big events, but I've never done an event like that, which was so big. And it was like in Excel, so it was a big space. And I remember that I've always had the experience with these type of events that they were quite soulless. But what I found was that every customer that came, because everyone that invited or bought tickets to the event are people that are passionate about personal, professional growth. The energy was amazing. You know, everyone was really in the, you know, they were in the zone. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy. They weren't miserable. Like you see a lot of people in the business show with bags just collecting leaflets, and I don't know what they do. You know, that was one of the things that surprised me. But the other thing that surprised me, and you were talking about it before, Janice, is about the networking. And we knew it because it's one of the things that we really emphasize, and we say as well, don't underestimate the value of the people that are in that room trying to do business too. Because, you know, when I run workshops and seminars with people, I say, look, if it's 8 of you, 10 of you, 50 of you, 100 of you, 200 of you, there's so much business in this room. You just don't know. If you just go out there and start speaking to people. And I've seen that. So I know that from the Expo, I've worked with you guys. I worked with another guy called Leon Street, Mindy Gibbings, that gets her book published. She does book publishing, Paul Boros. So there's so many people that I have worked with because I've met at the Expo. And I think it's the same with you guys. You connected with quite a lot of people that were there that could use or needed your services.
Absolutely. And it has a knock-on effect because it's a year later and we're still meeting new people that have come through people that we met there.
People that we met there that we've done business with have also gone on and referred us, you know. So it was just a smart thing to do. It was, you know, I mean, looking back.
With you guys, I have said that the reason I'm working with Brian and Janice now, so they do some work. We work together in some of the programs that we're launching next year. And one of the reasons, or the main reason I worked with Brian, was he's got an amazing initials. It's BM, which is Bernardo Moya. So I thought, this guy, I have to work with him.
He has to be part of my world.
He has to be part.
I wanted to tell you a quick story about how you're going to laugh at this because I don't think I've told you this before, how good the people were at the Best You Expo last year. You're talking about it's a good vibe. Everybody's into personal development. I went for lunch. I'd gone out into the concourse, come back with lunch, sat down in the middle and ate it, went back to our exhibitor stand, and about 2 hours later realized I'd left my handbag there. And I was like, oh my God. And somebody had gone and handed it in. Phone, wallet, money, all of it. I was like, amazing. Good people there.
Good, nice, genuine people. Lovely people. Great.
Happy on.
Okay, well, I think kind of for me, you know, the reason I wanted to do these quick webinars is simply to help and support those that are, you know, in business or in the business of professional, you know, personal and professional growth, with tips and ideas and potential people that can help them, you know, improve their skills. And obviously you guys are very good at what you do with the copywriting and obviously creating all these amazing strategies and campaigns. And I know how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. So that was one of the reasons. So I want to thank you so much. You do great work. Thanks. And I know you've been working with quite a few people that, as you said, you met at the Expo, and they've all, and it was from the word of mouth of someone that was, you know, a friend of us, Sarah, who was at the event and said, hey, I'm working with these guys. And so they're really good. I said, really? You know, I'm joking. I knew, but, you know, she really
No, you were thinking, really?
No, really? No, but I just said, you know, kind of, she was really complimentary because, you know, Sarah's got really high standards and she's been in the industry for a long time. So coming from someone like Sarah, you know, I took notice. So I know how good you guys are, and I understand the importance of understanding, you know, copywriting, internet marketing, and all the do's and don'ts. And I know you've got some great free resources as well, which I'm sure we're going to make available for anyone that wants to, you know, find out more about what you guys do. But the other part of this is to simply, those are sitting on the fence, those that are thinking about getting involved at the Expo, you know, speaking or exhibiting. Well, hopefully we've been able to clarify a few things of the advantages of getting involved. And then on the other hand, if it's, you know, whoever's watching this recording simply, you know, wants to come and have a great weekend, well, listen, we're there. What I will say is that in the 10 years I've been in the business and the 5 years that I've been with the Best Jew, I come across a lot of people, and I come across a lot of people that talk a lot and don't necessarily do much, and they don't take any action. And when I was saying and pointing out about, you know, the American market and why these guys are the leaders is because they're truly professionals. You know, when we get inquiries, you know, and someone inquires about getting involved in the Expo, we literally have to call them once or twice. They're calling us back because, you know, they've looked at it, they've done research, and they take action, you know, and the action sometimes, you know what, I can't afford it, or I can't get involved. But 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, people are coming and moving forward. And that's my struggle. My struggle, I believe here, that still in the UK, you know, we have to really believe in our skills, and we have to go out there and take action, because, you know, if you don't, someone else. And as we know,
that's
me, then who?
You know, I mean, you basically said it all, and it's true. You have to really be committed to your business, and the more committed you are, the more success you're going to have, because you have to be prepared to do the tough stuff, you know, to make those important investments and decisions that are going to move your business forward. Because, you know, our brain has this great ability to want to talk us out of doing certain things, because, you know, wants to make us believe that it's, you know, well, what am I going to get in return? What if it doesn't work out? What if they don't buy it? All this sort of stuff. But the truth is, you know, you mentioned like Sarah, for example, right? Very high standards. Like, she really demands and expects a lot of herself, but that's what she also delivers. And it's the same for yourself with the Best Jew Expo. It's the same for us with our clients. It's as long as you have something that you can bring to the marketplace that people want, that they're looking for, and you put your best foot forward and you work really hard and are really committed to it, and become willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. And that you don't rely on excuses, because look, the bottom line is, you know, you're only fooling yourself. And I don't mean to say this to anyone on the call or anything. I'm just kind of talking from the heart here, which was a conversation I had to have with myself, which is, you know what, we need to really dial this in and get very serious about what we're doing. And, you know, finding the Best Jew, we knew that there was a commitment there, but we were committed to our success, and we knew that this made sense for us, was what we were doing, the coaching and the personal development industry. And so it was like, well, we need to step up and make this happen, you know, because we have to be responsible for whatever we end up with at the end of the day. So we believe that if you work hard, you're committed, and you really make that commitment, you're going to get there. You're going to have success.
I think that people in the personal development world, you know, we see them, of course, you know, on Facebook and online, you see all the big names that are doing amazing things. And I know that there's a lot of people out there just starting out thinking, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if I could be talking in front of thousands of people like that, or I could sell thousands of my books, or whatever the case is. But I mean, that's what we all have to remember, is those people didn't just end up there by accident. They had to put themselves out there. They had to take a chance on themselves and go, I need to get out there in front of people if I want to be known for something, if I want to make a difference.
Well, they put the hours in, and you've got to put the hours, and you've got to put the effort. I mean, you know, these guys have attended hundreds of seminars. They've read, you know, thousands of books. You know, they had empty rooms, and then they filled them up, and then they had followers, and then they had more followers. But, you know, I know that they put their neck on the line all the time. I mean, listen, I have. I mean, you know, when I think of this event and what we put together, it's down to hard work and a lot of cojones, as we say in Spanish. But there's no other way, you know. And you know what? I would rather try I would rather make sure that I give it my 100%, even if I fail, than not actually making or taking action. So I think one of the things that I struggle sometimes as well is because, we get this. So imagine we put this event together. We literally fill 6,000 to 10,000 to 12,000 people throughout the 2 days. We put 9 seminar rooms. We put AV engineers and video operators and 2 cameras per room. We put a couple of 100 booths around there. We probably send around a couple of million emails between this moment we start with the reach of everyone. Mm-hmm. And then I get someone saying, well, I don't pay to speak. And I say, well, excuse me, you're not paying to speak. If you've ever run an event in your life, you know that you have to spend money on Google AdWords, Facebook. You have to send some emails out. You have to work. You have to hire a venue. There's so many things you need to do. You have to fill the room. You have to sell the tickets. You need a salesperson. You need your credit card charges. So there's all these things. And this is all taken care of. So, look, no one pays us to speak. Someone pays us simply to be able to be involved there, to have a room, hopefully full, with potential customers and thousands of customers walking throughout the 2 days, and ultimately a massive return on investment. But I also believe that, when I've done these events is with ideally working with like-minded people that believe in the same things, that we're all in it together. We're here to support and help each other. Because at the end of the day, if it's 150 speakers, which we are, and each of us invite 100 people, it's 15,000 people. It's as simple as that. The bottom line is I know as a promoter that I have to push and push and ask people to help us to promote it, because they're expecting me to do it all. And that's kind of one of the things that I struggle with personally, because, as I said, I'm very lucky. I'm blessed. I work with amazing people. Mastin Kipp speaking, Dean Graziosi speaking in the US, Jason Vale, Sir Clive Woodward. We've had so many amazing speakers. And the bigger they are, the more they help, the more that they support you. And I think that's something that anyone that is starting it would be my advice anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, they know the value in that, don't they? They know the value in getting in front of an audience, because it's like, I think where you have to reframe it, I would say, as somebody that would be going there and, paying money to be there. Yeah, but you're doing that for the opportunity that you can promote whatever you want. You can, you know what I mean? You have the ability to sell your courses or your books, or just get the exposure of being in front of all those tens of thousands of people. So it's, I think you need to sort of reframe it to look at what it is as an opportunity instead of.
Well, and if you go back to what we talked earlier about, which is that opt-in. So if you have a way of collecting some names and emails, even if it's physical, and in fact, it's a good idea to have both, because, if your electronic device doesn't work, at least you can get some information written down. But you've already done that all important first step, which is make that connection. From there, you can begin to build those relationships. So think about, as you said, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, different things like that. What do you have to invest? What's the cost? And, really, it's important to understand that in your business. What is the cost to acquire one customer? What's it really costing you? If you're boosting X number of ads, per year, what did you spend on Facebook ads and Google AdWords and different things like that? And what did you get? So when you start to take that and say, well, now I've got something tangible here where I'm there, I'm in person, people can come and connect with me, ask questions, sign up, and I'm building those relationships right there in real time. Not to mention, as you said, those talks are available. You're going to have that copy for promotion. There's like I said, there's so much that comes with it, but if you're only looking at it like, oh, I get to speak and I have an exhibitor stand, it's going to cost me this much. Well, unfortunately, if the people that see it that way are missing out on the bigger picture, of what the Best You actually offers you, not just at the event, but all what trickles on from it afterwards.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, I appreciate you guys being here today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to share my screen quickly just to give you those that are interested a link so they can actually go onto the page and apply. I mean, we've literally come up with a campaign now, which is called Nothing to Lose. And what we're doing is we're literally, for those that want to try us out for the first year, we're literally covering their costs or a big degree, a big number towards their expenses, you know, the flights, because I get it, you know, apart from obviously having the stand, you've got to fly there, or you need your transport, you need your hotel, you need your food. So we've actually got a campaign which is called Nothing to Lose. So I'm going to share literally the link for anyone that is interested in getting involved, because it's pretty straightforward. And that's it. So you go to thebestjewexpo.com. Depending on where you are, hey, you guys want to come and speak or exhibit at the US? We've got our event in Long Beach on the 24th and 25th of March. If you're interested in getting involved in the one in London, that's the 16th and 17th of February. So that's thebestjewexpo.com. We have a lot of people from the US that are coming to the UK to exhibit. We also have a lot of people from the UK that are going. I believe that, you know, both work really well. But if you are, then just click on the preferred option as far as the expo. And then once you click onto the site, it's going to open up. And then here you've got a drop down that says get involved. So you can book a stand, you can speak, you can sponsor. But if you wanted to book a stand, then we've got all the different reasons why we feel you should get involved. For those that want to sell tickets, well, again, we've got the cash back. But literally, here's all the information that one would need. You can download the brochure with all the information. We've got a video there. And then why to exhibit, the type of stands that you can have, the amount of delegates that we're expecting. And then you literally just get involved, apply here, download the extra brochure there, complete it. And then one of my team will be delighted to speak to you, explain to you why you should get involved. You know, speaking slots are pretty much gone now. We're down to our last few, but we do still have some opportunities on stands. So
that's a great opportunity.
Thank you so much again for your time. And
thank you. It was great.
And see you at the Best Jew Expo.
Yes, sounds good. We'll see you there.
Thank you so much. All
Thanks,
the best.
Bernardo. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.